George, final question I'm going to ask you: Europe or no Europe?
Look, if I'm being honest, and I've said this to everyone, I said personally no Europe, only because I think for me, if it's just in the exact situation we're in right now, considering we need the rebuild, I think you forget with these Europa League and Europa Conference League fixtures, it's tough. It's tough runnings, man. You're playing 2 or 3 times a week for a lot of the season, especially if you go deep into the competitions, and it always doesn't go the way people think. I think a lot of people's ideal situation is that, oh, but if we're in these European competitions, we can play the youth and maybe see a bit more of them. But at the end of the day, when we do that and we swap out the teams a little bit, fans they can get extremely frustrated because we're not winning these games and we should be winning these competitions. Okay, so then you're asking to play the first team again. And if you're playing the first team 3 times a week, 2 times a week, you're being very detrimental to the domestic cups in the league. So I think right now, for me personally, purely because we're in this big transition phase of a new manager, a new system needs to be played, maybe new director of football, new players, I would rather just be out of Europe so that we can focus domestically, focus on the cups in the league, and really spend the training during the week to implement their ideas. I think that's the main issue we sort of had when Conte first came in. We obviously still had Europe, and he even said himself in these pressers that he doesn't actually get time with the players to work on his ideas. It's always preparation for the next game, rest a day. Preparation for the next game, rest a day. So that's the only reason why I'd say no Europe. But yeah, obviously I'm not going to complain if we do end up in Europa League or Conference League.
Christina, same question to you: Europe or no Europe, and where can we find you across the socials?
No Europe for me. I want a fresh start, completely fresh start for Tottenham now. And like I said, I just want us to focus on cups. I want FA Cup, and that's what I think that our big focus should be for next season. So yeah, no Europe for me, and I'm just on Twitter basically, or on here.
Bless you. Listen, always a pleasure. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.
Rich, to close it with you, I don't believe Ricky Norwood's going to tell me he does not want European football. I can see his face. There's no way he's going to tell me. Come on, Rich, let's close it with you, bruv. What are you going to say? What are you going to tell me?
I'm going to say Europe, bro. I'm going to say Europe.
You're going to say Europe. Of course I know that.
And you know, for me, it's like, you know, there's a difference between Europa League and Europa Conference League, or the checker trade, as Jace likes to call it. There is a big difference. But with the squad that we have, with the size of the squad that we have to have a bit more about rotation, and we can keep a core element of the side going in. And as soon as you're winning, you can start to rotate. We've got 5 subs as well. Do you know what I mean? And I do think that learning throughout the games, it is something. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we can disrespect any trophy competition. I think, you know, if we're in it, I think we should go for it, you know, whichever which way that is. And you know, so winning breeds winning. So if we can get onto a roll of things, then fantastic. And if you look at the games that we've had this season, you know, the beginning of the season, we was playing every 2-3 days, and that was just so that we could have the World Cup at Christmas. And then you know, so there's been a concertina of games going left, right, and centre. So I'm hoping that after a summer, after a proper pre-season with a new manager and a clear philosophy, that we can go into the season with Europe. So
I just think it's for me. It's just I think it's only because maybe I've just been burnt too many times of like this hope of like, oh, we're in Europa League, we're in Europa Conference League, we should be winning these competitions, and then we just don't get anywhere near. I think that's what it's like. I've just been burnt too many times with those. But yeah,
I hear you, bro.
I do.